Hey boys, this is for all the boys that are in their 20s who feel a little stressed out, man. As my 20s are reaching a close here in the near future, I'm closer to 30 than I am 20. And I just want to give a little bit of advice, a little bit of insight on someone who's kind of been over the age of 25. My frontal cortex apparently has fully formed. Uh, so I just want to give a little bit of advice because I think a lot of young men stress themselves out so much nowadays. And I kind of feel like it's because of this like hustle culture, this kind of red pill culture. And I don't think that stuff is necessarily bad, but I feel like it kind of gives a little bit of unneeded stress on certain people. Where like they feel like they need to grind away their life and they need to do it now and they can't waste their 20s. And I just want to say, man, like as someone who's dabbled in a lot of like side projects and a lot of experimentation and a lot of life, dude, I really wouldn't trade that for anything. I wouldn't trade that for anything because at the end of the day, man, everything will work out. Everything will always work out. Just always have a goal and have something to strive for and have something that you kind of want to enjoy. You know, because really at the end of the day, man, that's the most thing that matters. Is like kind of expanding your mind and find stuff you enjoy. You know, something that kind of gives life like meaning. Like something that you actually like can feel at the end of the day. And sometimes that is work. So if you are that guy, that's actually like a, you know, you're crossing the lines of harmony, I suppose. And a lot of the times as men, we do, that is kind of the thing, right? Like we want something to work towards, but also something we enjoy. But I feel like a lot of times, at least nowadays, kind of just feels like there's a lot of young men who feel like they need to have it all figured out. And it mainly comes down to finances, bro. And like at the end of the day, like, yeah, finances will definitely make your life so much better. And it is something we all kind of strive for, but I don't know if you should necessarily make that like your sole focus on things, especially when you're young, man. Because the biggest thing when you're young, dude, is honestly the drive of going out and experiencing things. Like if you have that drive of just sitting and like grinding away at an office job, so maybe you can experience things when you're older, like sure, that's if that works for you, that works for you, but that's not guaranteed. That's kind of how my mind works in a way. Or it's like the future's not guaranteed, so I want to enjoy now. Obviously, you need to be a little careful. It's not like I'm going like too crazy, but I definitely had my time in the sun of doing some kind of off the wall stuff. And I don't know, you kind of get out of your system. A lot of life experiences, man. You got to go meet people. You got to travel. You got to, you know, test the boundaries of I don't know what you're capable of in a sense, man. But it's really like expanding your mind is I think the biggest thing, bro. I think the biggest thing. Like, there's no wrong answer, but I just want to say if you're stressing out over like finances and not knowing what your future is going to be, it's like, bro, that might be because you don't even know who you are yet. And that's the biggest point I'm trying to make is like you want to expand your mind and experience things and like experience yourself and how far your mind can take you with things. And the biggest advice I think I can give you, man, is honestly, you got to study the world, study ideology, study like, you know, theories, science, religion, all that stuff. Study what people have, you know, I guess studied themselves throughout history, man. You should understand this world and understand people. I think psychology is a huge thing as well. And you want to do that at an early age, man, because I know people, man, who are like in their 40s, 50s, who clearly just didn't do that. And they're so stuck in their ways and they're unhappy. You know, maybe they grinded out their whole life. Oh my God, dude. I know like a lot of guys who like, they're mainly like family friends, but they like really hard grinded their life and they randomly just dropped dead in like their 50s. And the thing about us guys, man, is that happens to us. We might just like drop dead, bro. Like that happens. And obviously there's catastrophes and all that stuff. And I'm not saying you should ever fear that stuff. I'm just saying it's like the future's not guaranteed. And the biggest thing is to enjoy life, man. I think it's pushed on young men to like, you know, you got to get the car, you got to get the girl, you got to get the job. You know, if you're one of those guys who are into materialistic items, got to get like, I guess car falls under that, but you got to get the, you know, the clothes and the shoes and the house and all that stuff. And honestly, man, you're that's wasting more of your time and money than you think, dude. It really is. Because at the end of the day, man, all we have is time. And none of us really know what's going on, truthfully. So I think the biggest thing is honestly just like expand your mind and knowledge. You know, you don't want to get stuck in this like grind mindset where, you know, you end up like kind of hating the world around you. And yeah, man, I think it's kind of, I just think it's not good advice. I think they're actually like kind of brainwashing these young men in a way. But I think there is a positive way of looking at it. I think there is a good thing about grinding and stuff, but it's like, dude, in your 20s, you won't know what you're doing. In the sense of, you won't like necessarily like understand much, bro. Because you haven't experienced much. You know what I mean? Like, you're pretty new. You're pretty new still. What, you went to high school? Did you go to college? Did you graduate college? Or did you party in college or no? You know, and I don't think all experiences have to boil down to like partying or anything like that. I think it's just like kind of getting out of like certain routines. Because, man, I will tell you, bro, as someone who has been a grinder, not on the app, don't look at my profile, but someone who's been a grinder, bro, where I grinded away at office jobs and side projects, and I feel like I wasted a lot of time for a hot minute. I definitely had some moments where I definitely like spread my wings and I did some things too. I've had a weird life, man. I definitely will say I feel like I have this crazy. I've experienced both sides to a lot of things, and I'm not saying I'm special. I'm just saying it's given me this insight of what I value as my 20s have, you know, coming closer to a close. Is the things I actually value the most out of all that was the experience of things. And the things that I regret the most was locking in on like a particular job because it felt safe and it felt like I was getting a stable income. You know, like for what? Like for what, bro? My favorite memories are the ones where I was laughing or it was like a new DLC unlocked in my brain because I did something new. You know what I mean? And I try to carry that to this day, man, as little as it is, because, bro, I don't know what it is. I think a lot of us guys kind of wake up at a certain age. It's like past 25, I would say. I would say mine started at like 22. It was when I like really started like dive deep into like what is this world and how does this world run across the board. You know, when I say that, it's not just like the finance business world. I'm talking like deep meanings, I guess. Spiritually, you know, theoretically, you know, it's training your mind, man. And certain experiences, bro. And those are the ones I value the most that I think will carry on. And I think that's what's kind of shaped me into who I am today. And I definitely think I'm kind of an oddball. I definitely don't think that's not the case. I definitely, yeah. But, man, I would much rather be kind of a goober. I'd much rather be kind of a goober than like an NPC. You know, someone who just kind of locked in and like thinks this whole world is about, you know, grinding away in money. Because, bro, I think money's just, I think it is evil, bro. It is. But people get locked into that. And I think we're brainwashed, for lack of a better word, from media. You know, so if you listen to like rap, like that's obviously like flex culture, you know, that kind of garbage, social media. Not that you can't find some things to enjoy, but I've found the only way I can necessarily enjoy that stuff is if I kind of view it as a social like experiment. Like, oh, people like actually think this way, or people feel this way. That's interesting. Why? You know what I mean? And I'm not over here thinking I'm like any type of scholar. I'm definitely not. I've mainly just done my own research on things and try to come to terms with like as far as my brain can take me with certain topics. And I actually find that so important, bro. It's given me such a better like understanding and a bigger empathy for literally everyone around me. Doesn't mean I don't think things are goofy. I actually think most things are actually absurd. I think everything's quite absurd, bro. But I mainly just want to say, man, if you're in your 20s, don't stress too much about your finances. I know we're in a weird world. Granted, you are, like, if you're a young man, if you're like 20, bro, like, I know this might be weird to hear this, but, like, you don't know who you are, bro. You don't. Like, you're coming, like, fresh from high school. Like, dude, you just got here. You know what I mean? Like, you just went through puberty, what, like 7 years ago? Like, bro, you're mad new. So take some time. You're new to this world, bro. Take some time to understand, to research, to contemplate. Time alone is so powerful. Time alone is so powerful, bro. Because the people around you, man, a lot of them are playing pretend. And I know some of you realize that by now. But you definitely will realize that as you get older, that this world is pretty fictionary, man. At least in the way people behave. Fictionary in the sense of they're focused on not the bigger picture, man. They're focused on what they were told to focus on. And I guess that's the biggest point. It's like, find what actually drives you, bro. Find that and then question why that is. And just come to terms with that. Because a lot of times, man, it might be because someone told you. Or the world has told you. Or the world values it. And why do you feel like you need to be that? Is it because you feel like you need to be valued? Do you think success only comes from money or status? Because I'll tell you, man, that world is, for lack of a better word in this moment, is quite fictionary. You know? And don't stress out too much, man. It's okay that you don't have it figured out right now. Because you don't. And you won't right now. You just won't, man. You need experience. You need experience and question life, man. You do. And I'm not saying I have all the answers, man. I try to do this every single day. And I think it's a continuous thing until we die. It's to continue taking our mind to the furthest it can reach. And I think that's just what life is, man. What else is there, like, to do? Like, I can't imagine being, like, complacent. You know, I like when things change. I like when things die. Not people, but, like, I like when I get interested in a new thing. Because it just, I don't know, it's proof of growth. You know what I mean? So don't stick to something because you feel like it's your identity. You know, enjoy it when you enjoy it, but don't hold on to things, bro. Let it pass. That means you're evolving, bro. You were a Charmander, now you're a Charmeleon, bro. And dude, who knows who you'll be once you're a level 36 Charizard, bro. You might be insane in a good way or a crazy way. I think that's what it's about, man. I think there's too much brainwashing, like, what this world values. And a lot of it comes down to money and status, man. I find that actually kind of appalling, that we don't, like, treat people as people. So, don't stress out. Just learn. Learn about the world. You got this, bro, alright? Make sure to do something for yourself today. Make sure to do something for someone else today. And regardless, boys, we got this, alright? Take care.